Lamar Jackson, his first playoff win. How's it feel?
It definitely feels good. I know he definitely feels good about it. Um, I'm not surprised. I knew it was coming eventually, and I really wish the media and other people didn't make it such a big deal because he's still very young. Like I'm older than Lamar Jackson. I'm 25, so it's like he's still young and he's accomplished so much in the short of period time that he's been in. So I knew it was coming eventually. He definitely has made some errors in that game and in playoff games in the past, but he was still so young, still learning the game. In his rookie year, um, the offense wasn't, geared towards him per se as it is now. So definitely feels good. Definitely thinking they can take it all the way. I don't see no reason why they can't. Um, and yeah, man, I think Lamar Jackson played very, very well. He made that interception, but I feel like he had to throw it deep because just to show the Titans that he's willing to throw the ball deep. It
But
wasn't
were
a
you
good pass.
concerned though? Was you concerned after he threw
Oh,
the pick?
without question. It was 10-0, and he no, I don't think it was 10-0 at that point.
It was the
But
first drive. It was the first drive.
second drive, right? Because they went
Nah,
three and out the
I
first
think
drive.
I
It was the
think it
second
was
drive.
the first. Well, one of the two, but I think it was still. I think it was 7-0 because the Titans had the ball first. So yeah, it was 7-0 at the time. So
Mm.
I know you and the rest of the Ravens fans was definitely they was sweating a little bit. Like,
Oh, without
oh,
question, man.
it's about to go down again. If we give them a
Yo,
14-point lead, and Derrick
yo,
Henry about to take this rock.
yo, I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like when he did that, I was like, "Oh, sugar honey iced tea, it's about to start." Um, but I kind of knew that Derrick Henry wasn't gonna have the greatest game. Um, One thing people that they didn't mention throughout, like a lot of analysts, a lot of post shows and whatnot, is that when they played them in the regular season, Calais Campbell and Brandon Williams was not in that football game. And if you watch the playoff game last year in Baltimore, they specifically went out to get Calais Campbell for Derrick Henry and Nick Chubb. And then if you are a Ravens fan, you know that Brandon Williams is that D line. I'm not gonna sit here and cap and say he's better than Ho Inada or anything like that. No, but he's been a crucial part to the defensive line and probably gonna be in a Ravens Hall of Fame. I'm not saying Hall of Fame. I'm saying Ravens Hall of Fame when his career
Ring
is.
honor.
Ring of Honor, yeah,
The ring
exactly.
honor.
Thank you. So I knew that Derrick Henry was not. I'm not saying not in check, but I knew he was gonna have a difficult time because they specifically went out to get Calais Campbell and Derek Wolf for running backs like Derrick Henry and Nick Chubb.
Right. Well,
Um,
you know what? I can't be mad at it. Tannehill screwed up. I I had my doubts about the Tennessee Titans in this game. I really did when I was because it was all throughout the season. I was watching the Titans. And I'm like, yo, this secondary is not the way it was last year. And like I was seeing quarterbacks like Gardner Minshew grind them up. I saw Deshaun Watson. I know it was Deshaun Watson, but the
yeah,
last week of the season, he was killing them. So I was like, man, it was the fact that they weren't providing any pressure on the quarterback. So when I was watching the Titans versus Ravens game in the wild card, I was like, man, they putting some serious pressure on Lamar right now. So they doing a lot better than what I was expecting. But the other thing I wanted to touch on was while I was watching the game, I felt like they was trying to force Derrick Henry too. I understand Derrick Henry's a 2,000-yard rusher. You want to keep the Baltimore Ravens defense honest, but it was clear that they were sitting there trying to sell out and try to stop Derrick Henry. And the passing game was working. Well, at the first drive of the game, they went right down the field and scored a touchdown, throwing the football. So I feel like when Derrick Henry in the second half, you saw him on the sideline. He was a little frustrated. I was like, oh man, I feel like they was literally trying to get him involved as much as possible. But hey, when it comes down to it, some games you on, some games you not. And to be honest, Tannehill, he was on. Him and AJ was on. So I'm gonna put this one on Vrabel, most definitely, as far as caving to Derrick Henry as far as wanting to give him some touches. But I'm not gonna let Ryan Tannehill off the hook. He did have AJ Brown wide open on that interception to Marcus Peters. And last thing before I pass it on to you, Shake, if you did want to comment on this game, that was hella disrespectful what the Baltimore Ravens did by stomping on the Tennessee Titans logo. Two wrongs don't make a right.
I agree with that. I agree with that.